So we're going to start the motor for the first time.
Really no reason why this thing won't start.
You seem to be having a debacle.
Subscribe to the channel as we sail this old girl around the world.
Our repowering and refitting project to our beloved Nandji has been moving forward with great success as our new Engine Fang is now in Nandji. We have reinstalled our gearbox and finalised the new drive system, connecting the Sigma drive and installing a new shaft seal. Drilling more holes in the boat, we ran the new exhaust ready to start Fang for the very first time. Fang is slowly and starting to look a lot more like a motor, or one that works anyway. All morning we've just been connecting the sea strainer and putting the anti-siphon on, and we've just connected the gear cable to the gearbox, which is a pretty big feeling. So I'm going to click it into gear for the very first time. Woohoo! Alright, here goes nothing.
Forward.
Forwards.
Came up.
Yeah.
Go down. Down.
It went down.
Yeah.
We're in reverse.
Yeah. And then go back to neutral. Yeah, it's clicking.
It's clicking.
Yeah.
Sticking.
Yeah, sticking.
Oh yeah, baby, it's sticking. One of the beauties about our new Engine Fang is that all you got to do is plug a negative and a positive onto the engine. So just chuck a negative somewhere onto the engine. The whole engine is a grounding anyway, so you can just attach it to a bolt anywhere on the housing of the engine. Then we've just got to connect the positive onto the back of the starter. Previously, we had to run wires to complete the circuit onto the back of the alternator as well. And if you do remember, after our very first passage crossing to New Caledonia, when we went to drop the anchor, we had a problem with our starter and the terminal come loose, and it fried those wires because that was the shortest way to earth out. So between the isolator switch and the alternator, and that's what we melted all those wires, so we had to replace them. But with Fang, I'm just ripping those wires out because we don't need them.
It's a really exciting day. Yosh and I just went and picked up some fuel to put into the brand new fuel tank to run the brand new engine for the first time. So we're about to start her up today. Woo!
Just had to cut up a short little stud. There's plenty of threads on the side of the engine housing where I'm going to attach this negative to. So that's where we're putting this on. Just under the starter motor. It's just it's the perfect length for where the old cable runs to. So seems like the most common spot rather than having to cut up a cable. Just for today, to start the motor, we're just going to plug it in down here. We're not going to properly run the cables up into the cockpit just yet because you need to drill a bigger hole when it's Friday and everything's closed on Friday. So I can't get a bigger drill bit to bore a hole through. So we'll just plug it into here and we'll just put the display panel on the bed, I guess.
It's just plug in and play, hey?
That's it. As long as there's enough things to plug into.
This is the Yanmar anti-rust that's going in the heat exchanger. I'm mixing half a litre of this with 4.5 litres of water. And now I'm just measuring out the ATF for the gearbox. So I need 700 mils of this apparently to fill up the gearbox, this monster of a gearbox, but we'll see how we go. Oh, that's a nice colour. And we'll just check it with a dipstick as it goes in.
Use your steady hand.
Needs that last little bit.
Get it in there.
We weren't getting anything on the end of the dipstick with 700 mils in there, so we had to check our facts again, and we were given the wrong information by someone and looked at the manual, and it's 900 mils to 1.1 litres. So I'm just going to put the whole thing in there. This is 1 litre, so this should be perfect. Yeah, it's wet up to there.
Yeah, that's on the line.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That takes a litre.
Done.
Right, let's put these first splashes of diesel into our brand new tank. Don't make a mess. The final connection. We're full of fluids. We've gone over every check. We checked the oil, we checked the water, we haven't filled up the raw water yet. We're going to put a tub in the head and suck it straight out of there rather than putting a hose up, just so let the motor delegate how much water it wants itself. Yeah, we've got diesel, filled up the fuel filters, so
With the gearbox.
the gearbox is full. I think we're all sweet, so we just got to connect this bad boy. Normally this will be mounted upstairs, but just for today's test run, for the first time ever, you know, you want to start your motor in bed.
Right, moment of truth.
Moment of truth.
Oh my god.
Now listen to
Oh my god.
Priming.
What's it?
Yep.
Oh,
It was priming the pump, so let's see.
is this what it's meant to do?
No, this.
It's not filling that yet.
The lift pump's going.
It's going, but
Okay, now we're going to put water in the bucket and run water through it. So we're going to start the motor for the first time, but Uncle's going to hold the line so that no fuel goes.
Yeah, so he's going to hold the button in on the back of the injection pump so there's no fuel can get through to the engine so the motor won't start. So we're just going to kick it over and crank the engine over to pump the oil around the motor to prime everything up and make all the gaskets.
It's like a quick 5-second-y, you know, deal. All right. So, okay, are you ready?
Yep, you go. Yep, that's it.
Okay,
No, let it go beep.
Yeah. Okay, now
so whenever you're ready, give
I just hold it in.
5 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And turn it off.
Yep.
Yep.
Oops.
Hold it in.
Hold it for 3.
Oh my god, it worked! Oh my god! It's really badly leaking out of the filter.
The fuel filter on Fang's a little bit bigger than our old Cummins and old Smoky. So our old filter puller that used to work on old Smoky doesn't wrap around this fuel filter. So I've tightened it up as tight as I could by hands once I filled it up with diesel before we started. But that's where we got a diesel leak when we're just trying to just prime everything then. So I know there's a French couple down here with a much bigger boat than us, so I figure their motor must be bigger too. So I might go ask them if they've got a bigger.
Check out this boat.
Or if you have a bigger fuel filter puller,
Bigger than that.
more bigger than this.
I will.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll bring back shortly.
Back.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There's a bit of priming. Oh,
There's really no reason why this thing won't start.
it sounded good, didn't it?
Sounds good. It's just everything sounds good. So they said if it sounds good, then start it next time.
Are we missing anything?
I don't think so, man. I think it should just freaking start straight up.
That's it, eh?
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, now I've got to get in position to run. I've got to admit, pretty nervous. I'll check to make sure it's coming out. And I'll piss bolt to the tap and make sure we got water coming in. All right, let's do it. Whoa. Got fumes. Seem to be having a debacle. I don't know whether it was drawing water or not. Yo!
We had a little bit of a problem. We just started the engine and it started for like a few seconds and then it turned itself off. So we're just trying to work out what the problem is.
I'm just cold cranking the engine just to make sure it's not seized or blocked or like back pressure or anything, but like it's flowing free. So it's as if it's stalled, it's as if the lines weren't primed. It's not enough diesel.
Yeah, it sounds like
Was that lift pump was still sucking up?
It
eh?
will continue to always do that.
So maybe before you press the start, because was that still going?
It always does. It never stops.
That's just all it does.
Keeps going.
So maybe we just need to let that go a bit more and keep pushing.
I think we're going again.
There's diesel coming out of here still. Yeah, I had that same problem, eh? So it's still coming out. It's just coming out of the filter. Why don't we take that filter off and try another filter?
Yeah. We changed the water separator filter over because that's just our original one, so we wanted everything new. So Uncle changed this over yesterday and we realised that he put it in upside down, so there was no fuel getting through the filter, and that's why the engine was getting stalled, because there was no diesel getting through because the filter was upside down.
Sounds good! I can't believe it's working! This is awesome! Hell yeah!
got a full hose going up the engine siphon, but it's bubbling on the way back. I would have thought that'd be a solid flow, but that might be something interfering on the edge here.
Listen to that baby purr. She's just purring away like a little kitten. This is just so f***ing cool. Your serious face is gone?
Yeah, now I'm all sweet, now I'm relaxed.
You're relaxed.
I've gone over everything. Sweet! Everything's going good. The final touches of the motor. I've got two things left. One to mount this head unit to where we start, stop and all that sort of stuff. We're going to mount it in the same place as where our old one was because it just happens to fit perfectly, and we were happy where it was. It was much easier. Lots of people mount them downstairs. Yeah, for us personally it was just much nicer to keep it upstairs, and since it fits perfectly in that little area, I've made a few little adjustments, but it'll just slot right in there, so we're going to keep it up here. And number two, I've just got to plumb the PSS. We have a hose that comes off the top, and I just need to bring it up into the cockpit and have a little hood over the top of it. Just so, yeah, it needs to be 2 feet above waterline, so we can just tell that it's always been lubricated by water. But right now, I'm going to mount the new starter engine display. Check this thing out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. These other 3 little wires, if you want to get a little bit more technical, you can add your fuel tank, so you know how much you got left on your fuel tank and that sort of stuff. But Nandji's getting better and more technical and getting closer to all those fancy things, but we don't have a bloody fuel depth on our fuel tank just yet. It's a luxury item. We just like to stick to things that we need for now. It's seriously a cone of paint. I epoxied in 2 little bits of wood there just to make it all watertight so no water can get behind the panel. And then I primed it and then I painted it. And it's literally a coat of paint that's stopping me from pushing that in. It's always something. Always something. Get in there, go. Come on. Come on, you. Go on. Go on. You know you want it. Ah, shit. There you go. Hello. Hello, legends.
Hey guys, the engine worked, finally.
Yeah, pretty stoked to get that bad boy in, have it running, and yeah, of course there's a few little issues, but hey, that's just troubleshooting and baby steps.
There was actually one little issue, that's it. So I think we did pretty good. Yeah.
Stoked.
Stoked, yeah. Thanks to Kev for your help in this little project.
Yeah, Uncle has been unfathomable through this whole experience, and without the help from Uncle, Nandji wouldn't have been done in the time period that we did. I mean, there's no way we would have been able to complete the task that we set out to do.
Yeah.
And now be out adventuring because I got a fun shirt on, so we're out adventuring again. So thanks too much, Kevin, bloody legend.
A huge thank you to our patrons as well that make these videos possible, and a huge shout out to our newest patrons. We have Michael, Marissa and Will, Thomas, Jerry Moon, Paul and Angela, Chris Casey has upped his pledge, and Donovan and Mark have chucked a bit in the PayPal account. Thank you guys so much for keeping us filming and floating.
We have patrons come and go, and it's always great for every week to have a new list of people that have decided to join up and help support our channel, so we can't say thank you to enough. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but we're obviously absolutely frothing right now, and it's so good to be back out and adventuring, and it's all because of you legends. We've been able to complete this boat work and keep on moving, so thank you very much.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We'll be crossing the Indian Ocean later on this year, so if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel.
Cheers, legends.
See ya.
Catch ya. We've prepped everything. The wind's dropped out a bit now, so we're priming up the sides. We've done the other side.
We use Jotun Penguard HB as the primer. At least 100 man hours.
Final step. No signs of rain this morning. It's paint day.
Oh, she looks so good. She looks so good. She's gonna look amazing with this color. Looks so good.